the man was thrown straight into the underworld by the Grim Reaper. By the time he regained consciousness, he realized he was free falling from an insane height. To make things worse, he wasn't even wearing a parachute. Just as panic set in, a glowing crystal shot toward him. Before he could react, it burrowed straight into his mind. Turns out, it was the memory crystal of the body's original owner. The guy had been a hardcore extreme sports junkie since childhood, always pushing himself past his limits. In today's challenge, a no-parachute freefall from 10,000 meters, if he landed in the designated safety net below, not only would he win $50 million, but he'd also set a new world record. The entire nation was watching, live coverage was being broadcast everywhere. The world was waiting to witness history. As soon as he absorbed the crystal's memories, his body instantly maxed out in skills. The thought of bagging 50 million filled him with excitement, but he failed, and just like that, he was back in the underworld. Furious, he turned to the Grim Reaper. "One more shot, I swear I can do it this time, and while you're at it, make sure I come back as someone rich." The Grim Reaper nodded. This time, he was reborn as the second son of a billionaire family, and as luck would have it, he had just been appointed CEO of the family business yesterday. He barely had time to process his excitement before the private jet he was on flew straight into a thunderstorm. The plane shook violently. Panicked, he tightened his seatbelt and grabbed an inflatable life vest. A flight attendant walked over with a calm smile. "No need for that, sir, it's just turbulence. The plane will stabilize soon." But he wasn't taking any chances. 5 minutes later, the plane miraculously steadied. Even so, he refused to take off the vest. Later, he wandered into the VIP lounge. It was stocked with the finest wines and luxury goods. Now this was the life he was meant to live. But just as he was getting lost in the dream of his bright future, one of the plane's engines exploded. In seconds, the aircraft went into a free fall. He fought with all his strength to crawl back to his seat and buckle in. The flight attendant tried to calm him down, but before she could say another word, a massive hole ripped through the fuselage. She was sucked straight out into the sky. A moment later, the entire plane burst into flames, and everything went black. When he opened his eyes, he was back in the underworld. It was as if the whole thing had been a bad dream. The look of despair on his face made the Grim Reaper grin with satisfaction. "All right, let's make this next one easy for you." Without another word, he pulled the trigger. Turns out, the man had 12 lives to burn through. So what kind of identity would he get this time?